Global leaders confront the growing impact of climate change at COP30. Global leaders confront the growing impact of climate change at COP30, the United Nations Climate Summit. COP30, currently underway in Belém, Brazil, has been marked by stark warnings and urgent calls for action as world leaders confront the increasingly severe consequences of a warming planet. Vivid stories of devastation, from intense heat waves and floods in Spain to drought and famine in Namibia, and the tragic loss of life caused by Hurricane Melissa in Haiti, underscored the pressing need for global cooperation. A planet in crisis. Witnessing the direct consequences, the summit, occurring during a year of record-breaking heat and extreme weather events attributed to human-caused climate change, highlighted the tangible realities of a changing climate. Saleh Jama, the Deputy Prime Minister of Somalia, delivered a sobering assessment. Forests are vanishing, water levels are rising, and in turn, people's livelihoods are being disrupted. In a nutshell, we are living on a planet in crisis. With greenhouse gas emissions continuing to climb from the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, the world remains on track to experience a global temperature increase of roughly 2.8 degrees Celsius. Scientists warn that even small increases in temperature amplify the risks of extreme events like heat waves, wildfires, drought, storms, and species extinction. U.S. absence and global disappointment. The absence of the United States at the summit represents a significant setback. President Trump has consistently downplayed the risks of climate change and actively promotes fossil fuels, while simultaneously hindering the growth of renewable energy. Mena Vekafuatalia, the Environment Minister of Tuvalu, directly addressed this, stating, "Tragically, the world's largest emitter of greenhouse gases has withdrawn from the Paris Agreement. Mr. President, this is a shameful disregard for the rest of the world." Real-world impacts and calls for basic action throughout the summit's discussions. Leaders shared experiences from their own countries. Kalani Kaniko, the Foreign Minister of the Marshall Islands, emphasized that the impacts of climate change are readily apparent. The sea rises, the coral dies, and the fish stock leaves our shores for cooler waters. In Kenya, millions have suffered through cycles of extreme drought and devastating floods, leading to a recent landslide that left many missing. Casey Brown, an expert at the European research and advocacy group E3G, noted a renewed focus on fundamentals. There's a real focus in these first few days on going back to basics, that climate change is real and it matters. That basic message can't be taken for granted. Financing climate action. A growing gap beyond highlighting the problem, leaders are proposing solutions, including economic adjustments. Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez of Spain called for additional taxes on premium air travel and private jets, stating it's only fair for everyone to contribute. He also advocated for ending public funding of new fossil fuel projects. However, securing the necessary financial resources remains a major challenge. Despite pledges, aid to developing nations for climate adaptation has decreased by 7% in 2023, according to the United Nations Environment Program. A vital fund designed to assist vulnerable countries recover from extreme disasters remains significantly underfunded and unoperational. However, a new fund promising financial returns for forest protection has already raised over $5 billion. Geopolitical tensions and the future of climate negotiations, the summit hasn't been solely focused on climate change. Geopolitical tensions and rivalries between nations have also colored the discussions, complicating efforts to reach consensus. Sheena Ansari, the Iranian vice president, voiced criticism of attacks against her country by the United States and Israel. Leaders from the Marshall Islands condemned attempts by nations, including the United States, to weaken a treaty aimed at reducing emissions from the shipping industry. The discussions at COP30 underscore the urgent need for increased global cooperation and action to address the escalating impacts of climate change. However, securing funding, navigating geopolitical complexities, and overcoming resistance from key players will be essential to achieving meaningful progress in the fight against global warming.